priorities?
They're telling these few weeks of OTAs gone as you're getting used to Fangio's defense.
Falling in love with his defense, actually. It's last time I felt this way was when I first was introduced to Wade's defense, and it was like I almost feel like I was born to play this defense. And I was telling my wife that last night because she's like, it's your contract year, and where are we going to be, this and that. And I was like, I feel like I was born for this defense, so I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Why? Can you explain to the layman?
It's just alignment-wise, it's like it's old school defense where you line up and you beat the guy in front of you, and we're going to be moving. You beat him, and then next thing you know, we're slanting somewhere and moving around and misdirecting him. And as far as like the pass rush games go, we have some really fun pass rush games that are just different. Things that aren't just me setting things up for everybody else. It's actually a little bit the opposite. So I can actually get back there and make some plays, and vice versa. So taking guys like me and Vaughn who have been. I mean, how many guys in the league have been working for 8 years, working right beside each other for 8 years? So the kind of chemistry that him and I have, they could just mix and match so many different things because a lot of times we just use hand signals and just look. He looks at me in a certain way, and I know, he's like, hey, go. I know. All right, I'm gonna hit this B gap. There's no way for an offensive line to plan for that. So then when we add all this other extra stuff in that we have, it's gonna really switch things up on him.
Said not so much pressure on the secondary in this defense, it kind of spreads it around. How different will that be?
I mean, I think that was a lot of the issue that our secondary had last year is that a lot of the heat was on them. But now it's like linebackers are in coverage and outside linebackers are in coverage. Some of the things are like, okay, the D-line has to get there this time. You know what I mean? It's on you guys. So the responsibility is spread around. It's not just being put on one person or one guy or one group on the defense. Where it's a very team-oriented defense.
How do you know if you're doing well with Coach Fangio? I guess what does a compliment look like for him?
I don't know. I don't really know. He'll say good job. He'll tell you good job, but I feel like he there's some guys where he just expects it from you, so he's not going to give you that a boy for just doing what you're supposed to be doing. Which I can respect that. So it's a lot of just straightforward and keep it moving, move on to the next play.
You talked about Chris and his situation a few weeks ago. Nice to have him back and have things resolved.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good for him. I'm glad that we got that taken care of because he's definitely a pivotal part of our team, and just to see a guy get what he deserves is good.
How's Draymond Jones coming along?
I mean, you have to ask his coach. I'm trying to focus on myself in my room right now, so it's not hard for me to really watch. You have to ask Bill. What's going on with him. To me, he's a great pass rusher. So, I see the hands and the feet of a pass rusher, and he's only going to get better. So, I think that was a great pickup for us. He's an Ohio boy, so I love Ohio guys. So.
What can you tell us about the other side of the ball, Dalton Reisner, and going up against that kid for a few weeks?
He's a rookie offensive lineman that goes really hard as he possibly can every play, and that's what you expect from a rookie offensive lineman. So, we got to tell him a couple times, hey, man, chill out, But I think he's a good player. I think that was another great pickup. I thought, this was one of the best drafts that I've seen us pick up as far as the guys that we picked up, and I'm just really happy about the team. It's got a whole new feel offensively. You got Joe Flacco over there who's doing a great job of running the show over there, and our offensive line looks really good. They're playing as a unit, and it seems like they all are kind of starting to come together more. Because there was a lot of mix and match going on, and it's hard to really build that brotherhood whenever you're mixing and matching too many guys. Now that those guys are all kind of settled in. You could tell that they're I see them every morning. They're eating breakfast together. They all live together. They do everything together, and that's being around. For 7-8 years. You see what great offensive lines do, and that one thing they do is they care about each other and they love each other and they treat each other like family. So, that's what I'm seeing on that side of the ball.
You mentioned this year being a contract year for you, but it's not just you. It's Chris, it's Shelby, it's Justin, it's Will. There's so many guys on that defense. Do you think that can be a good thing for the defense as a whole?
Yeah, because you got to go earn it. you got to go earn that next check. So, that's the thing about contract years are, it can go two ways. You can either, some guys, they'll play really selfish and not be so team oriented, or they'll do everything they're told to do and then ends up working out really well for them. So, I think that we saw what happened in 2015 when all those contracts were up. And, we had the best defense in the league, the best defense to ever play, in my opinion. And, the things that we overcame that year, I think we earned the spot to be the best defense to ever play the game. And we had a lot of guys on our contract year. We had a lot of guys that, they didn't play selfish football. They did their job, and it had worked out for all of us.
Is it difficult during the contract year to say, I'm not going to worry about myself and my thing, and instead play within the defense and the team?
Well, I mean, if you don't play within the defensive, if you don't do what you're told and do your job, you're going to get shit canned anyways. So, at the end of the day, I'm not an outside linebacker, so I can't just. Outside linebackers are one of those positions on defense where you can do that you can kind of, when you're supposed to drop, maybe rush, or, we don't have any guys that do that, but you see guys that do it sometimes. And that's one of those positions where sometimes you can get away with it. But on the interior defensive line, if you don't do your job, and you don't make the play, there's going to be a huge gap. There's going to be a huge hole for the running back to go through. There's going to be a passing lane for the running back to throw, for the quarterback to throw. There's going to be an escape lane for the quarterback. So you've got to make sure you're doing your job and do it to the best of your ability.
How does becoming a parent help your professional motivation here in the building?
It's just a whole different motivation for me. I've lived my entire life with like this chip on my shoulder, and now that I got a baby coming, it's like, I don't really have that chip anymore. It's now it's a whole different motivation. I'm not playing for myself anymore, and it's like elevating my game to another level that I didn't know I had. So I'm pretty excited about it.
So you don't have a chip, but do you think you still probably have that same edge that you've had the whole time you played?
Well, there's a difference between having an edge and having a chip. A chip on your shoulder is like, that's where I was getting in fights and doing that stupid shit, letting my emotions get the best of me. But, now it's more like, there's a bigger goal, and there's somebody who I have to set a standard for. I have to make sure that I have to be the kind of man that I want my daughter to marry. So I got to make sure that I do the right thing at all times.
With your experience in Denver and your place in this locker room, what would it mean to you to be a team captain this season?
I don't really care about it. I don't. That doesn't mean anything to me. Like if they want me to be a captain, I'll be a captain. I'm going to be myself either way. I'm going to do what I do either way. It doesn't matter if I have a C on my chest or not. That's really not a big deal to me.
Is it more four-man rush than what you did previous, like Joe Woods? There's a lot of five-man rushes.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Well, Vic said that he thought that. I was wondering.
I don't know what Vic's. No, stop it, Mike.
Derek, you mentioned the on-field chemistry you have with Vaughn. How long does that take to get that nonverbal relationship with the player?
I mean, I feel like it took us like 2 or 3 years to really start to develop it, and then just to, it was really the last like 3 years where we really started to really vibe. As far as like I just kind of could feel like you could feel what the guy beside you doing, and based on like the things that he usually does, like if I feel like there's a lot of space in there, I'll make it so he can rush inside. You know what I mean? And then I can cover him. Or if that gap's like super tight, I'll make sure I rush inside so that I fill up that area. So it's just it's being able to play off of each other. And then he does the same thing for me. If he feels that I just really hit that B gap hard, he'll just slow play it and wrap around me. And we see that happen all the time where he just comes in there and kills a quarterback and takes the ball from him. And that's the ultimate goal, is to get to the quarterback. I don't really care who gets there as long as we get him.
That's one, Nikki.
This is like year 5 with you and Bill Fuller. Do you ever look back and kind of think about what kind of impact he's had on your career and just the influence there?
I mean, it's like this. So like he hasn't been here for a couple days because he's getting some surgery done, and when he's not on the field, the vibe is just like totally different. So he brings like a whole nother energy. You just don't want to disappoint him. You don't want to get your ass ripped in film for just like, you could make a great play, but if you don't turn and sprint 30 yards to the ball, he's going to be on you. So it just brings a whole different expectation when you're out there, when you have a coach like that. And he gets the best out of you. He either gets the best out of you or he gets you out of here. that's just the way it is. You're either going to be the best in what he demands, or you're going to get out.
All right, thank you, Derek.
All right, guys.